Father Michael was a man of God. He was also a man of science. He saw no conflict between the two. In fact, he believed science was a way to understand the power of God. So he devoted his life to studying both the Bible and physics. He dreamed of building a time machine, a machine to take him back to the time of Jesus. He would meet his Savior. He would witness the miracles. Father Michael spent years in his basement workshop. He toiled tirelessly. He pored over equations. He tinkered with wires and circuits. He finally finished his time machine. It was a contraption of metal and light. It hummed with a strange energy. He stepped inside, said a prayer, and flipped the switch. The world dissolved around him. The journey was a blur. Lights flashed, colors swirled, the air crackled with energy. When the machine finally sputtered to a stop, Father Michael was in a different world. The air was hot and dusty. He smelled animals and sweat. He heard the murmur of a crowd. He emerged from the machine into a bustling marketplace. People jostled each other. Vendors hawked their wares. Donkeys brayed. Children ran through the crowded streets. Father Michael felt a surge of excitement. He was in ancient Jerusalem. He was about to meet Jesus. He set off into the marketplace, searching for the face of his Lord. Father Michael pushed through the crowd. He searched every face. He looked for a halo. He looked for a divine glow. He saw none. He finally spotted a man sitting alone. The man was dressed in rags. He was begging for scraps of food. His eyes were filled with anger. This could not be Jesus, Father Michael thought. But something about the man drew him closer. He listened to the beggar's words. The beggar was railing against the hypocrisy of the priests. He was condemning the Romans. He was even questioning the existence of God. This was not the message of love and forgiveness that Father Michael expected. Section 4. The Disciples' Crimes. A group of men surrounded the beggar. They were rough-looking. They were thieves and murderers, Father Michael realized. He'd seen their wanted posters in the temple archives. These were the men history called the disciples. These were the men who were supposed to spread Jesus' message of love. They were not spreading love, they were spreading chaos. They listened to the beggar's words with rapt attention. They hung on his every word. They were inspired by his anger. They were ready to act on his rage. Father Michael felt sick to his stomach. This was not the Jesus he knew. This was not the message of peace he had devoted his life to preaching. This was something else entirely. Section 5. A Crisis of Faith. Father Michael stumbled back to his time machine. He was shaken, he was confused, he had risked everything to meet his Savior. He had found a charlatan, he had found a fraud. What did this mean for his faith? What did this mean for everything he thought he knew? He returned to his own time. He stepped out of the machine and into his quiet basement. The air was cold, the room was dark. He felt utterly alone. He had seen the truth. He did not know what to do with it. He had a terrible secret, a secret that could shake the very foundations of his faith. Father Michael, filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation, approached the head priest at his church. "Father, I have something extraordinary to share with you," he began, his voice trembling slightly. "I have traveled through time and witnessed events that challenge our very beliefs about Christ's divinity." The head priest looked at him with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism, urging him to continue. Father Michael took a deep breath, his mind racing with the implications of what he was about to reveal. "I met the man we call Jesus," he said, the weight of his words hanging in the air. "But he was not the divine figure we have worshipped. He was a simple man, a beggar, a charlatan." The head priest's eyes widened, a flicker of doubt crossing his usually composed face. "Are you certain of what you saw?" he asked cautiously, his voice barely above a whisper. Father Michael nodded solemnly. "I am certain I saw it with my own eyes. Everything we have believed, everything we have taught, it could all be a lie." The room fell silent, the gravity of Father Michael's revelation sinking in. The head priest closed his eyes, grappling with the turmoil that now threatened to unravel the very fabric of their faith. "What do we do now?" Father Michael asked, his voice breaking the silence. "How do we move forward knowing this truth?" The head priest opened his eyes, his expression resolute. "We must seek the truth, no matter where it leads us," he said firmly. "Our faith cannot be built on lies. We must find a way to reconcile this knowledge with our beliefs." Father Michael felt a glimmer of hope, a sense of purpose beginning to form amidst the chaos. Together they would embark on a new journey, one that would test their faith and challenge everything they thought they knew. As they stood together, ready to face the unknown, the path ahead seemed daunting but clear. The truth would guide them, no matter how difficult it might be to accept. Pause 3S, Section 6, The Revelation.